This shiny stuff you see on the tire is what's left over from the press at the factory, and it's really slippery. So you really have to, when you get a new tire, you got to ride it about 300 miles before it's broken in. And so I'm going real easy on the corners today as I ride, because this tire just got put on in Phoenix about an hour ago.
Why do I ride? Those of us that do know, and they need no explanation, while the answer is a little different for each of us. I ride because it's a positive action in my life, filled with a spirit of exploration, a hunger for beauty, and an iron will to see and do as much as I can before I can no longer see or ride. I know God easier on two wheels at speed than in church sometimes. The motorcycle is the pew in the grandest cathedral, with a blue ceiling that really has no ceiling. The aisle beside me leading to the altar has a double yellow stripe on it. I know from conversations I've had over the years with riders that stop me to say hello on my trips, or make comments or ask a question about my bike. They too are trying to articulate a wish that they were with me on the current journey, or better yet, on one of their own. They see my Tennessee license plate when I'm far from home out west or in the far reaches of Canada, and wish they were not running errands, heading into work, getting groceries, or 100 other things they do in a day that are responsible, responding to a schedule, or whatever. Some riders ride to get away from things, to find what pilots call cleaner air somewhere else, to take a breather from things they have to deal with every day but would rather not. I ride toward things and not away from them. I ride towards clarity of vision and thought. I ride to pray because it's easier somehow when riding, when I'm by myself. Some riders love to be with friends in big groups. I am more of a moving hermit. I love the alone time, and the more deserted places I find, the better. God granted me a great gift this last week. I stayed the night in a tiny town in Clifton, Arizona on U.S. Route 191. After a great Mexican breakfast, green chili burro, I headed north into one of my top 3 roads I've ever been on in the USA. It's called the Coronado Trail. My favorite section of this road is from north of Morenci to Alpine, Arizona. I left Morenci in the morning, passed a few semi-trucks, and then entered the twists and turns and supremely enjoyed myself for about an hour and a half. The thing of it is, there were no other cars except 3 that passed me on the other side of the road headed south. I rode north until I hit an area known as simply as Blue, and I came around a curve and started seeing ice as snow on the road surface. I slowed down and continued, but around the next corner it got worse. So I had to pull a U-ey, and I headed back south, sadly knowing at that point where the ride was changed, and I was headed back to Phoenix and all that traffic, and ultimately to the airport and to fly home the next day. But God gave me U.S. Route 191 to ride all by myself for about 3 hours. This is a gift I'll not forget anytime soon. I never saw a car in my lane or on my side of the road at all. I'm doubly blessed to have 2 motorcycles, one from Germany and one from Japan. They're both adventure touring bikes, as the segment is now called. It all started in 1980 when BMW launched the unheard-of concept of an 800cc bike purposed for riding off of the road, or in German, Gallestrande, or GS for short. As time progressed, the bike's power plant, which has its roots in an aircraft engine, grew to 1,000 cc's, then to 1,100, then to 12, then to 1,250, and now the 1,300 GS is available for purchase. As the engine size grew, the engineers figured out ways to actually drop weight and make the bike lighter and lighter as time went on. I guess around the mid-2010s or so, the Japanese began to take notice of the sales of the BMW GS bike spiking. It didn't take them long to make their own leader bikes for this purpose of adventure touring. The bike I have out west is a Yamaha Super Tenere 1200. It's similar to a BMW GS adventure bike that I keep at home in its engine size, its upright seating arrangement, shaft drive, frame geometry, and its both twin-cylinder engines. It differs from the BMW in that it's a water-cooled bike with a radiator, so if it breaks, It's not expensive to fix. So the S10, as they are called for short, are amazingly durable, often running past 175,000 miles with little or no maintenance other than changing fluids, tires, and brake pads. So I'm the proud owner of two fantastic motorcycles with the same purpose, one from Europe and one from Japan. Both are able to transport me to places I think more clearly, where I can pray with confidence and explore the world around me in ways I cannot accomplish in a four-wheel box. My silent partners in all these trips out west are Allegiant and Frontier Airlines. They offer cheap fares that allow me to move the bike around out west to different states and allow my reach to grow in breadth and wonder. The American West waits for me just as it waits for you to discover. So many people own wonderful motorcycles made here in the USA and Japan, Germany, Austria, and now in India too, that are capable of trips like the ones I take. A week is not a long time, but it's plenty of time and more time to discover and begin to know a place of beauty. If you have a bike in your garage that you ride occasionally, maybe think about checking your tires for dry rot. Put the amount of air in them that your owner's manual says. Take a weekend off to start with and ride. I pore over Google Maps on a big screen of my computer at home all the time. I plot future rides of places I'd like to see and experience. And when I'm on these trips, I eat only in family-owned restaurants, and I try to stay mostly in family-owned hotels along the way. America is huge. Bikes are tiny. Combining a tiny bike on a massive landscape is fun, and you get to smell your way right across the counties and even state lines. The journey's the thing, right? So get out there and explore what's beyond your usual routes, beyond where you live. Take the longer path, the one that leads to self-knowledge, peace of mind, and the one that will help you get to know yourself better. I hope you've enjoyed this MotoPat episode. Until next time, peace be with you. Ride on and ride well.